Welcome back to Life Academy's series of lectures on project management. Last time we talked about projects in general. We defined what we mean by a project, the time limits, it's unique and all that. Today we're going to talk about the important questions. What are we going to do? When are we going to do it? Who's going to do this? And how are we going to do it? So let's start with what are we going to do to answer the first question. Now, why do we start a project? Well, in general, we say that we start a project because we have identified a need for product development, a need for a change. Whatever it is, it's a need. Gives us the opportunity to start a project. And then you might ask yourself, of course, who's got that need? And then we define what we call the project stakeholders. But what do we mean by a project stakeholder then? Well, a stakeholder is anyone who is affected by the project or the project's result, or who could influence the project or the project result. And that means that we have a large amount of stakeholders to all projects, some more important than others. A customer is a typical stakeholder. The internal organization are stakeholders. We need to identify who they are and what are their needs. Now, once we have seen that, we'll say, all right, now what are we going to do? So from the need, we derive the project objective. This is what we want to achieve. This is what we want to do. And if we have met that objective, hopefully we have also met the needs of the stakeholders. Now, from the objectives, we look at now what are the requirements that we need to fulfill in order to meet that objective. So from the objective, we derive requirements. And all of these small circles illustrate a requirement. And once we have identified all of these, we need to make an analysis of it. Are there any contradictions between them? Can we fulfill all of them? What are the limitations that we got? And we have some fundamental limitations. We talk about time. Let's remember, project is limited in time. We have probably a limited budget, and we also have a limited in what we can do. So if we write a triangle here, saying that these are the limits when it comes to money, limits when it comes to time, and limit in what we actually can do. Sometimes we call that the project scope. Now, whatever is within this triangle are the requirements that we can see that we can meet within those limitations. Now we need to check, if we fulfill those requirements in here, have we met the objective? Because if we have met the objective, we'll probably fulfill the needs of the stakeholder. So this is the fundamental definition of what we are going to do within the project.